All right, welcome everyone to our 7 p.m. raffle. Thank you so much for all of your donations and your support. It really means a lot to us and the patients that we serve. So thank you for participating in Founders Day, whether it's been sharing a Facebook post or sharing with your friends about donating a donation of any amount. We really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. We've had so many people stop by and paint mugs and show their support, so thank you so much. And on this hour, as promised, we are actually raffling off the 3, because it's our 3rd hour of giving towards the 12 days of Christmas, so the 12 hours of giving. We're now down to the 3rd hour before we end tonight, and we are raffling off Ken Kingston's Moments. Wow, it's so funny. He's hilarious. You're gonna love him at the Believe Big Dinner this April 21st. So 3 of you lucky winners will get a brief sneak peek as to Ken Kingston and his humor. It's hilarious. So makes great Christmas gifts as well. So the following individuals won. We have Shireen Rusby. So yay, Shireen. We have Scott and Christine Ward. Yay. And Heidi Kelly. So thank you guys so much for participating in Founders Day. And coming up in the next hour, it's going to be hour 2 hours left. So at hour 2 coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to be actually raffling off 2 of the Berkey Ultimate and Water Purification Filters. They donated 2 water filters for our Founders Day. We just couldn't believe how kind they were and generous. All of the people who have donated things so that we can raffle off today, we are really grateful for their support as well. So those are an amazing water filter, and I will let Joe and Matt, who are our guests on this hour from Millersheim Fitness. So Joe is also on our board of advisors, and we really appreciate her and all that she does for Believe Big, and Matt as well. So you guys are amazing supports to us. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being willing to share about detoxification, the importance of clean water, and eliminating those cravings that we all seem to be having now that the holidays have started. So with that, I'll let you guys get started and share with our supporters. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for allowing us to be here.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, first of all, I want to start off by saying toxic chemicals are everywhere. A carcinogen is any substance that can contribute to the process of cancer formation. It's estimated that 90% of all cancers are due to exposure to environmental carcinogens. There are many environmental factors such as lifestyle, naturally occurring exposures like UV light, radon gas, infectious agents, medical treatments, workplace exposures, household exposures, pollution. So what should we do? I think we should just hide in a bubble.
It feels like it sometimes.
No, actually there's a lot we can do, even though it can feel really overwhelming. First of all, we can identify carcinogens and avoid exposure. You can go to the International Agency for Research on Cancer or the U.S. National Toxicology Program and get a complete list of it. From there, you can try to do everything you can to avoid any carcinogens or replace products that you have or things that you're around with alternatives. And then after that, there's some things that you just can't avoid, so you can detoxify to remove the toxins from the body. So how do you detox? One of the ways is through teas. You can make your own teas, or we like to cheat a little and we use the yogi teas. You can get this at the grocery store, natural store, from Amazon. This one in particular is a kind of like a colon cleanse tea. That's a great one. This one,
Berry Detox. This is a combination of various antioxidants and herbs that it tastes wonderful, but it's also going to help you to your body to naturally eliminate toxins.
It's ideal if you drink this with filtered water. Little plug right there. Another beverage option is through juicing. We have this book here. This is my Vanna White. The Juicing Bible. It has some great recipes. I really like this book because you can get immune system boosting juices, you can get energy boosts, all kinds of stuff, detoxing. So this is great. Just be very careful not to juice a lot of fruit And follow a recipe and make sure you're working with a naturopathic doctor to make sure you're juicing the right things and not affecting your blood sugar in a bad way. Another thing is a detox drink that we really like is Dr. Axe's Detox Recipe. It consists of 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, some filtered water. You can use a Berkey. You can use warm water. You can use organic lemon. Do not have a lemon with me, but imagine there's one in my hand. You could use organic ground ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon, some organic cinnamon, and a dash of organic cayenne. If you go to Dr. Axe's website, he has a lot of great detox recipes, so easy detox drinks or juicing recipes that we really like. There's cleanses that you can do. Let's see, this is one that you bought.
Yeah, the Vibrant Cleanse, this is a version of the Master Cleanse. And there's a lot of various cleanses out there. You can do colon cleanses. Most cleanses are basically intended to help support the body, eliminate toxins. So similar to the herbal teas, it's the same sort of thing. You're trying to get your body in a state where it can remove all the things that are in there, whether it's heavy metals, any kind of toxin, and just expel that.
Now, just a special note, if you read the amazing book, The Metabolic Approach to Cancer, Dr. Nasha showed some concern about the Master Cleanse, so make sure that it's that type of cleanse is right for you. Talk to your naturopath and see, but that is just one version of a cleanse. Here's another one. You can use some psyllium.
Right, psyllium often with like a senna tea. That's another kind of colon cleanse, and that's going to help sort of flush out your system. And you usually use those in conjunction with one another.
And a lot of times as you're getting all this stuff out, there's certain herbs that you'd want to take to kind of help the body with the process. If you have a compromised immune system, be really careful detoxing because it can be very hard on the body. So make sure you have a professional helping you. But otherwise, if you're generally healthy, these gentle detoxes should be fine. There's also foods that you can eat that help with detoxing, like organic cage-free eggs, wild-caught salmon, organic pastured whey protein. It helps to convert amino acids to glutathione, which helps with the detoxification process. There are supplements that you can take.
Milk thistle is one that's pretty famous. And again, a lot of these you can find in teas, but basically, all of the herbal supplements are intended to either support your body, support your organs like your kidney, your liver, and try to get them to work optimally to remove toxins from your body. It's really important though, because anything natural still needs to be, you need to make sure that it's working in conjunction properly with anything else you're taking. Anything else you're taking, you do need to make sure that you're talking to a medical professional about those possible interactions.
Also, with the milk thistle, you have to be very careful. People on chemotherapy, there's some controversy about whether or not that this could be harmful with pulling metals out. So again, a naturopathic doctor is critical. And in case we forgot to say it, you should have a naturopath. Kind of earlier when we talked about the foods, a lot of the greens help with the detoxing process. This was a product that Matt found that we really like.
Right, it's an organic blend of a lot of different greens as well as herbal supplements to help the system. So obviously whole foods are the right way, ideally, to get the greens in. But if you really need to get something, then the powder is a good way to do that.
And make sure it's organic, that you're not filling your body with a bunch of pesticides. Another way that you can detox is through saunas. An infrared sauna is very helpful. Just be careful that when you're using the sauna and you sweat and all the toxins come out, that you get that off your skin quickly. Some people will just go into a sauna and then they get dressed and they let that reabsorb back into the skin. So make sure you're showering after. Epsom salt baths are a great option, inexpensive and more gentle. Hydrotherapy is great. You could be in the shower for 5 minutes really hot water and then 30 seconds really cold, and alternate for 3 rounds of that. That's a gentle option. There's dry brushing, where you take a brush and you stroke towards your heart, and that helps with some detoxing, helps the lymphatic system. Exercise, a personal favorite. Yoga is great. When you're stretching and twisting the body, it's like wringing out the organs. It helps with getting things moving out of the body. Walking, running, qigong, a good meditation is great. Another one would be enemas. That one, definitely see a trained professional where someone teaches you how to do it correctly. It could be dangerous if done incorrectly, or you could have someone do that for you. Lastly, drink plenty of filtered water. Start the day with a glass of warm water and organic lemon juice. That's a great way to kickstart the liver and gallbladder and get things moving around. You want to drink a minimum of half your body weight in filtered water daily.
An interesting thing about that is that most of these processes, as far as elimination, really require water. Your body requires a lot of water, and you need that in order for it to function. So for any of these things, when we're talking about supplements and foods and whatnot, in order for those things to actually work, you need to have a good intake of clean water. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
And just on a quick note, I'm the type of person where I go all out with a lot of things. So I think if this is good, more is better. So just be careful. You don't want to do too many supplements. You don't want to drink too much water. You don't want to drink 3 gallons of water a day. That's too much. So make sure everything is balanced and you're following good protocol.
So we wanted to talk for a minute also about water in a little more detail. And a few of the things that are important to note that people don't always realize. One, even tap water, even water that's in the city and it's been processed, it's often not being processed for some of the things that actually get into it, like pharmaceuticals. So your tap water can have metals, it can have pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of things, herbicides and pesticides, trace amounts even, are things that you don't want to build up in your body. We live out in the country and we're on a well, which you would think would be safe and wonderful. Then we found out that there was a chemical spill not far from our house, and petroleum, basically gasoline, had gotten into the water supply. And while it was considered safe, we didn't want to keep drinking that. So we went ahead, got a Berkey, and the nice thing about the Berkey in particular is it filters out things that other filters don't. It's literally to the level where you can use it for disaster preparedness. And so we wanted something that was going to get rid of viruses and bacteria, as well as sediment, metals, and again, pharmaceuticals and all the various other things that we were concerned were in that water.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that when his mom came over and drank the water, she loved the water from the Berkey, but the water that we had from another place, another source that was filtered, she didn't like that water.
Right.
So moving on to eliminating cravings, as we're approaching the holidays, a lot of people are feeling a lot more cravings. There's some things that you can do that will definitely help. One is you want to eat more protein. A lot of people aren't eating enough protein. They're eating too many carbohydrates, and that just fuels that craving fire. So you want to make sure that at least each meal there's some source of protein, that you're just not eating carbs by itself, or else your blood sugar will be affected and then you just crave every unhealthy thing in sight. Another thing is you want to eat more healthy fats. Fat is a macronutrient that doesn't spike blood sugar, whereas carbs and protein do. Fat does not, and it's a great way to slow down food that's coming in. So things like coconut oil is a great way to lessen the cravings by making sure you're eating plenty of fat. Another thing is eat more fiber. You want to eat about 35-40 grams of fiber a day. It's a lot of fiber.
It's good.
Make sure you're drinking that with plenty of water. Another thing is probiotic foods like kefir, raw sheep or goat yogurt, organic grass-fed yogurt, or kimchi. That's very helpful. You could switch out using sugar for stevia or monk fruit. Talk about the monk fruit.
Yeah, and actually, monk fruit is particularly interesting. It can be a little bit difficult to find, but you can find it at a lot of natural food stores. The neat thing about monk fruit is where stevia, a lot of people find they have a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. Monk fruit doesn't tend to have that aftertaste, and it's an antioxidant. So when you're taking it, it's actually going to help clean up free radicals in your body, and it's sweet. So you can use this. We actually make pumpkin pies and apple pies with this in place of sugar.
But using things like almond flour, coconut flour, so
Yep.
all healthy alternatives. Another way to eliminate cravings is to eat clean. The healthier you eat, the healthier you want to eat. So if you keep eating unhealthy things, then you're going to want that even more. So cutting back on sweets will help. Also, eat regularly. Don't get too hungry, or as we say, don't get hangry. So don't go more than 3 to 4 hours without eating. Some people do intermittent fasting, but generally when you're going between meals, if you go too long or you allow yourself to get too hungry, that's where cravings will really go up. Make sure you eat enough calories, that you're not on a starvation diet, that you're eating at least the number of calories it takes just to maintain your body weight, or to stay alive rather. People who just drastically cut calories have more craving issues. Reduce stress. That was the easy one. No. Do whatever that you can to reduce the stress that you're able to reduce. Some of it is unavoidable. Get plenty of sleep. People who get less than 7 hours of sleep, hormones are affected and they crave more unhealthy foods. Avoid artificial sweeteners. Use apple cider vinegar. Yeah. Love this stuff. This is great. Also, plan meals in advance. So what is the quote? Fail to plan, or
Failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah. So planning ahead of time makes a huge difference in eliminating cravings. And also stay away from it. So don't bring it in the house, and that makes a big difference.
Awesome. That's great. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for all this amazing information. So, one thing with water, you're everywhere. So what do you guys recommend when you're not at home and you have a Berkey filter? So what kind of water? I know that there's some that are acidic that are out there that you can buy in the store. There's some that are better than others. Spring water, there's vitamin water, there's smart water. Like, what water do you do when you're not at home and you don't have a filtration system?
Usually, I never leave home without it.
That's smart.
So yeah. I always take water bottles with me, and I load it up with the Berkey water.
That's smart.
There actually are alkaline waters that you can buy nowadays. Additionally, Berkey, I think, has released a line of filters that actually go in a water bottle, so that you can pour your tap water in there and still have that ceramic filtration.
Oh yeah, they're little sport bottles. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are great. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And what would you say is like your best tip for like around the holidays? You're talking about cravings and things like that. So do you have any tips like before you go to a holiday party or something like that? What should you try and do before you leave your house so that you're not tempted to have those things you shouldn't be eating?
Take a blindfold. Cover your nose. One thing is, that we like is make sure you work out before the party. That helps, although that can rev up the appetite, so then maybe some people want more.
But you're sort of earning it.
That's true. That's
true. That helps. Also, don't go there hungry. So eat ahead of time. Prepare, bring things with you and plan ahead of time what you're going to eat. Say, these are the things that I will eat. Even having a plate where just tell yourself, I'm not going to eat more than what's on this plate. Or when you get there, you have to eat a salad first or anything with vegetables first and drink plenty of water. And a lot of times people find that they don't end up eating the other things.
That's awesome. Now you mentioned also a couple of detoxes. Like what would be the simplest thing, the most gentle thing for someone who's just starting out? Because you hear all these detoxes and you don't want someone to have issues and they're going to try something. Like I know you should check with your naturopathic physician, make sure you, that's our little medical disclaimer, make sure you check with your doctor first. But for anyone, what would be just a simple little detox cleanse that you would recommend out of all the things that you shared, because there were several wonderful ones, but what would you think? Is it the yogi tea or something like that, or what would you guys recommend as the simplest detoxer?
Yeah, I would say probably the simplest would be a yogi just detox tea, because it has all the herbs in there that help with the detoxing. And then probably the next step above that was Dr. Axe's recipe, where he had the apple cider vinegar, the lemon juice, the cinnamon, the ginger, and then the dash of cayenne pepper. So that little drink cocktail is also very simple.
And I don't know if you know this question, but like I know for me, like when I'm feeling a little lethargic or whatever, that it's really helpful. I feel like my liver is strained a little bit, and so sometimes you don't realize that's your filtration system of your body, and it kind of holds on to things. So the detoxing is important. But I've heard that like the dandelion root is really good for that. Is that true? And
yes, dandelion root is one of the main ingredients in the detox tea. This berry detox tea, healthy antioxidant blend. Well, ginger root is the first one in there, but dandelion root is usually one of the number ones, and it's a natural diuretic, helps get things out.
You'll find dandelion and burdock tend to be in a lot of the detox blends, and for exactly that reason.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out today and for helping us to celebrate Founders Day and sharing these great tips about detoxing and the importance of clean water. Not only for ourselves, but I've also heard for our pets too. Sometimes we give them water right from our sink, so we need to be mindful of our pets as well. But also, thank you for, I know you had a very busy night and you changed plans to make sure that you could be here, and so that means a lot to us that you did that, so thank you.
Wouldn't miss it for anything.
And so all of you, stay tuned, because at the top of the hour, we are going to be raffling off 2 of those Berkeys to anyone who's donated up to this point, and so we're excited to announce that at 8 o'clock. So thank you guys again for believing big with us, and please make sure to share these videos with your friends.